If you want to see how to use and discover a new tool to actually identify those limiting beliefs, those damn little things that are holding you back, then this video is for you. Stick around. I'm going to talk you end to end through an entire process. Hi everyone, my name is Jacques Snyman, and as you know by now, I make videos that'll help you create a more secure future for you and yourself. Beautiful sunshiny day here where I am in South Africa today. So I want to take this opportunity and talk you through a process that I discovered, and credit goes to Gregg Braden. Gregg Braden wrote a book called Spontaneous Healing of Belief. Just a quick glance at that. So that's the book, and he's got a wonderful process in there that I went through myself, and I created a little tool for everyone to use just to streamline it and to structure it a little bit. He essentially guides us to ask a couple of questions, right? Remember that we said that your beliefs are fixed or set or developed in your life at an early age, from roughly the day that you're born to somewhere around, the debate goes, around the age of 7, but Greg says go up to the age of about 15. So the caretakers and the caregivers, your mom and dad and so forth, all had an influence or an impact on your beliefs. So there's a couple of questions, as I said. Listen to the following questions and ask yourself these questions. So the very first question says, right, what were the characteristics of the caretakers that I experienced from birth to roughly 15 years old? Split that into two categories, the male ones and the female ones. So that would be dad on the one side, mom on the other side, or uncle and aunt, or maybe an older brother or sister. So it is the characteristics of the caretakers that you experience, both male and female, and then split those characteristics into two categories. The A category is the so-called negative characteristics of those people that you experience, right? The B category are the positive characteristics of those people that you experience. So that's the first question. Define the characteristics of your caregivers at a very young age. The next question says, okay, so what did I need most from my caregivers? Just write it out. Write a little sentence out and use keywords. A few bullets or a couple of words will do. So the question is, what did I need most from my caretakers? That's the second big question. And then there's a third question that you need to ask. And this question says, okay, so at that stage of my life, what were the frustrations that I experienced? And then the B part of that question says, how did I deal with those frustrations? What did I do? Okay, so 4 simple questions. The first one says, describe the characteristics of your caregivers. The second one says, what did I need most from those caregivers of mine? And then the third question has got 2 parts to it. It simply says, what were my frustrations and how did I deal with those frustrations? Okay, so that's a simple process, guys. Just bullet points, single words, small little paragraphs. That's how you answer those 3 questions. What you then do is you complete the following 4 statements at the hand of the answers to those questions you just answered, right? The first statement says, I sometimes attract people into my life who are ... And what you fill in there is the A part of question 1. In other words, the negative characteristics of those caregivers that you experienced, right? So the statement says, I sometimes attract people into my life who are ... In my case, I said, who are victims, very critical, have a negative self-image, and give love based on performance. All right. So that's the first statement. The second statement is the following. I want them, these caregivers of mine, to be ... So that's the second statement. Now, you get the answer to that statement in the B part of question 1. So all the good characteristics of your caregivers, right? So in my case, this was, I want them to be caring, inspiring, protective, disciplined. I want them to love me unconditionally and believe in me and motivate me. So that was my little sentence that I came up with there. That's the second statement. The third statement just simply says, it's kind of a broken sentence, but it says ... so that I can experience whatever it happens to be. That third statement, the answer to that statement, comes out of the question that says, what did I need most from my caregiver? So whatever you wrote in there, complete that statement. The statement says, so that I could experience, and in my case, I said, so that I could experience unconditional love, be inspired, and feel worthy and as if I'm good enough and lovable. So that's the third statement. The fourth statement just simply says, I prevent myself from getting this sometimes in life by ... dot, dot, dot. Okay? The answer to that question comes from the B part of the last question that I asked you. The question that says, what were my frustrations? The B part of that question said, so how did I deal with those frustrations? Okay? The statement again, the fourth statement, I prevent myself sometimes from getting this in life. And what I did is I said, okay, I prevent myself from getting this in life by withdrawing, keeping quiet, not being honest with myself, not expressing how I felt or any of my needs, and just keeping going. And those were the answers that I came up with as part of my process and my answer to those statements. So guys, 3 simple questions, 4 simple statements. You've got them. Go and apply them. Go through them in your life. Reminder also that, remember, this is a process. You're not going to sit down and through the time that you can drink a cup of coffee, figure out all your limiting beliefs, right? I don't believe that's possible. I think this is an iterative process. All the gurus also suggests that. So I've done this a couple of times in my life before. I've done it again now. So all those other inputs are useful for me to have a look at again. So don't do this exercise just once. Repeat it from time to time. Do it in another week's time. Do it in another month's time or a quarter's time. Hold your old notes close and then see what is the second or the third or the fourth iteration of this process revealed to you. All right? Every single time I do this, I discover something more, something different. It's, as I said before, it's almost like the layers on an onion. Every time you do something like this, you discover yet another facet or aspect of those limiting beliefs of yours. Right, so now you've identified the limiting beliefs. In the next 2 or 3 videos, I'm going to talk to you about a process that you can use to now actually address those limiting beliefs. I've shared one with you before, the one that I'm literally busy with right now, but I want to share another process with you. Once you now know what the limiting beliefs are, what do you do with them now? How do you actually change them into empowering beliefs? Stick around, watch the upcoming videos if you're interested in that. Have a glorious day. Chat to you in the next video.